Yeah.
It's another football show, and today we're going to be analyzing the chances of our own dear Super Eagles in the next World Cup. And to discuss this with me is Mustafa Jinadu and Kunle Williams. You guys are welcome to another football show.
Okay, welcome. So I looked at the score. So what? Nigeria's coming fourth in their group. I don't think they can come first, so they're not going to qualify automatically. I think they should be able to come second because they're only 1 point behind. Who's number two? Who's number two?
Number two is Rwanda. It's actually South Africa on 13 points. Rwanda is second on 8 points. Republic of Benin has 8, and then we are fourth on 7 points.
Yeah, so we're only 1 point behind. So that means that we just have to beat one of those teams and hope.
Yeah, sure.
So there's a small chance because Nigeria's going to have to come second. Then they're going to have to do playoff. So my thing is that they need to win every match, except for maybe South Africa. They need to win. Draws is not going to help them. If they keep drawing, they're going to be behind.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Kunle? Yeah.
I think that Nigeria's football team is basically a reflection of Nigeria's government. Even if we qualify, which is doubtful, we're not going to do anything memorable. The players like Akonji and Alaba and Musiala and Saka, all those world-class players are playing for teams like Arsenal, Madrid, Barcelona, Man City, all those teams I just mentioned. These are all top Nigerian players. They're not going to play. We had a quality coach that ran away when he was told by some politician that he must give him 10% of his money or there'll be trouble. So we can't get the quality coaches. We can't get the quality players. It's operating dysfunctionally. I'm so unexcited that I'll be in my 60s before I even get a chance to hope to see a competitive Nigerian football team. And that's a chance to hope if there is any progress made after now. I'm not even excited if we qualify because this team is nonsense. It's totally disorganized. It's substandard. The coach is mediocre. The players are not exciting. The style of football is not exciting.
Yeah. And the only person scoring for Nigeria is Osimhen.
The only person scoring. Yeah, and South Africa are a very good team. In second position, they're well organized. And I don't think that they're going to make it easy. You're not just going to get, even if we get the points, I don't know if we played them, whether we have a chance to play them to try to get past them.
Yeah, but, it's possible, but we'd have to win every game, you know?
Yeah, I'm so disappointed and disinterested in Nigerian international football for now. And I'm looking like
there's no energy. Like we had, in 1994, we had, when we had, what's his name? Finidi George and all those guys, and who's the guy? Shiakini and
Sunday Olise.
Even in '98 we had even in '98 we had Victor Ikpeba. Those guys had a little bit of energy, Kanu. But the latest group is all boring. Half of the best ones of them are playing for Europe, and even if they're not, they're playing for European teams. Even if they're playing for Nigeria, they care more about their club, which I don't blame them because the team doesn't treat NFA is rubbish. You get my point. What are your thoughts, Afolabi?
Overwhelming, they need to eat. And the officials need to eat is more important than any progress of Nigerian international football because we need to eat. We are hungry. So they need to tax the players and they need to do whatever they can to make sure they get as much money out for themselves because they need to eat. So just forget about Nigeria being a competitive football nation until the need to compete overrides the need to eat. Because once we need to eat, then we're not going to compete. That's just that simple.
Yeah, that's true. And also, they need a good. They keep changing sources. They need a good technical advisor who can have a system for them in which they have their midfielders know how to use their wings. Because you've got a very good winger. What's his name? Lukman is a good winger and a good player. They need to get solidified their midfield.
Moses is a decent enough winger. Victor Moses.
Yeah, it's a pity we will never get. It's a pity Olise will never play with us. Olise will play for France. I don't blame him. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Afolabi?
Yeah, what I wanted to say was that the next round of World Cup qualifiers will be coming up in September. So there are two very crucial games that we need to win to stand any chance. We have Rwanda on the 1st of September, and we have South Africa on the 8th of September. If we can get 6 points, we go to 13 points. So with that, we have a very good chance of qualifying. but we need to improve a lot of things. And Mustafa was mentioning George Finidi now, and it makes me to remember the good old days of Clemens Westerhoff and Bonfred Joe. When those guys were hired, we had coaches that would go to local games and scout for talents. We had basically a Nigerian-based Super Eagles where they would select like 2 or 3 players that were decent enough to join the foreign-based players. So there was a mixture of foreign-based and home-based, and it was a very healthy mix, and it was helping us then. But now, I don't know the kind of coaches we have. They don't go and watch. They don't do scout for local talent. They don't scout in Europe for players that play in lesser-known leagues for some positions where we need players. It's just about some Hausa people in NFA who don't know how to run football. I think they should be talking to some of these ex-players. Some of these ex-players have played under world-class coaches. They understand the way football is run. They should give them
money. They don't want to spend money.
They don't want to spend money. So they prefer to bring in some charlatan who is going to do deals with them and pay them part of his salary to act as a puppet.
Corruption also contributes to it.
So it's so annoying. And there's no guarantee that we're going to win these games. Rwanda and South Africa are perfectly winnable games. And if we can take 6 points from that, we go to 13 points and we have a chance of qualifying.
Where's the South Africa match being played? If it's in South Africa, I don't see us beating them there.
I think it's in South Africa, but Rwanda is in Nigeria.
It's not easy to beat South Africa. It's a way to...
It's difficult. It's a very hostile team.
They will play for
and
draw.
A hostile atmosphere.
Shibogo draw. What are your thoughts, Warif? Yeah.
But it's 2 teams that will qualify from each group, right?
Yeah, I think,
one team.
Yeah.
Whoever comes second has to do playoff. Only one team qualifies.
The other team will do playoff.
Yeah.
Okay, playoff is not even a guarantee that you qualify for the World Cup.
But I think Nigeria can make it to playoff. Yeah.
We can make it to
playoff. Yeah. But it will depend on Nigeria beating Rwanda, because by the time we beat Rwanda right now, I think we'll have
10 points.
Have 8 points right now, right?
No, we have 7. We'll
have 10 points and we'll be okay, we'll have 10 points, then we'll go above Rwanda. But the challenge is this: if Nigerian players, they should have this belief, this mindset that what they are playing is not European football. They are playing African
different
World Cup qualifier. So they should have it in their mind. Don't start playing European football. This is just like if you watch South American League or South American qualifying for qualifiers for World Cup. The way they play the typical South American football, hard, physical. And so Nigeria, they shouldn't just relax. Like the last game we played, I think it was the Nations Cup qualifier that we played that we were winning 1-0. For the crowd started saying, "Ewu." And the player, to me, they were carried by that and they just lose guard. So if they can focus, continue with what they are doing, don't just play to the gallery of the fans. Play your game. Make sure the game is fully secured. In football, it's not over until the whistle goes. So they should just have, and the coach also must do a proper research, like what Afolabi said. Travel to some European countries. Even if he's going to Saudi Arabia to see our boys, as far as they can deliver, you invite them to play. Like, what's he called? Our defensive midfielder right now. What's his name? That is in Leicester City.
Wilfred Ndidi.
Yes, Ndidi. We need a replacement for him because he will never be there. Even if he's still good, we need a backup, a depth in case if there is an injury or whatever.
For Brentford, right? We have one top quality CDM that plays in one of these top teams. Onyeka.
So we should try and invite them.
But he doesn't start for Brentford. He's usually on the bench. He plays for Brentford.
Onyeka. We didn't use him.
Yeah.
Then our strike force, we should not just depend on Victor Osimhen alone. Like Victor Boniface, in his club side, he does well. But when it comes to the national team, I've never seen Victor Boniface scored in the national team. Then they should try and coordinate Lookman and the attackers, apart from, Victor Osimhen. We know Victor Osimhen, that one is the
the other guy, the one that did well in the last competition that plays for, in England, the light-skinned guy. No, he does. You know what I'm talking about. The one that played number 10 for them last time. I forgot his name. I'll find out. Don't worry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Is it for Super Eagles?
Yeah. The one that he's naturally a winger, but he played number 10 in the Nations Cup. Yeah.
It will be.
He will be, yeah.
Oh, Alex, it will be, okay. He plays for
he will be. He will be. He's a freelancer. He's fast and he can make some runs. So, but the thing is that we should have depth and not allow your opponent to be able to predict your game. Just like the Arsenal team that they easily able should know how to plan his game so that the opponent will not be able to say, yeah, definitely they are starting with Osimhen, they are starting with Lookman, they are starting with Wabali, all those things. They should not have variety.
You're breaking up. Yeah, you're breaking.
I think the problem we have is in the midfield. Yeah. If we get the midfield right, Victor Osimhen, if he gets the right service, on a good day, he will score goals. Yeah. But usually, he doesn't get the right service. I think that's just the problem. We have a striker that can deliver if he gets the right service. So the midfield, the creative aspect of the midfield is not just there.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, Kunle, what are your thoughts?
Well, 15, 20 years ago, Nigeria abandoned its investment in sports and they decided to
politics.
Stop football, and then they got carried away with the corruption within the football. I'm so uninspired by this team. And yes, there's a slim chance that we might make it, but I just don't think that we're going to go far. I just really don't have any interest in this. I'm so angry with the Super Eagles and the organization and the NFA and
the NFF.
That's the problem.
Too much politics, corruption.
The will to win, because they don't have the will to win. So no amount of players or coaches can do anything if your federation doesn't have the will to win. And so the NFF needs to find a way to develop a will to win. Until they're interested in doing well, we're not going to go far. No amount of talented players, no amount of coaches, we're not going to go far. Not until we change that mindset.
You're right. But the thing about Nigeria is one of those crazy teams. If they can make it to the World Cup, sometimes they can get lucky, draw here, maybe draw with Argentina, that type of rubbish. But like you said, systematically, there's no way Nigeria. And when you look at South Africa is a perfect example. They don't have as much talent as Nigeria, but they have a better system. Their coach, I think their coach is a Dutch guy or something, not Dutch, Belgian. They have a good coaching system. They play well together. They all play together in their league, so they know each other. And when you look at a team, like what was that team? Was it Canary Islands, that small team that did well in the last African Nations Cup? Cape Verde. It's all about knowing each other. Football is a combination sport. Look at Barcelona. It's not about, we have this great striker, we have that. These guys have to be in
as a team.
Yeah. What do you think, Warif? The beer almost stopped me, yo. What are your thoughts, Warif? Yeah.
Well, there are so many factors that might make Nigeria not to go far, or not even if they qualify for the World Cup. Because Nigerians, everything they want to bring in politics, they want to bring in tribalism, they want to bring in religion. So I believe one of the, I might be wrong, I might be right. One of the reasons why Iguaban left, maybe they might have given him some condition, and he's not able to go with that the condition of Super Eagles, taking the place of the Super Eagles coach. So the coach has to do research, and travel more by next. Although the next match is coming over by September, and the league will be ending by by the next month or this month May. So he has to, if he's to invite so many players and see during trainings, he can screen them down. Let it not be the same player month in, month out when they are playing any game. And NFF should stop playing politics, maybe imposing players on the coach. They should allow the coach to do what he's supposed to do. And like I said, we should have depth, just like Liverpool, Barcelona, and some other team. Once you have the depth, anybody can be called upon to go into the pitch and you deliver. So, and again, like what Mr. Falabi said, we need to work on our creative midfield. Once you have creative midfielders, your opponents will not be able to come out. But once the midfield is weak, they will oppress, and they will press you back to play defensive game. And Nigeria wouldn't want to play that kind of defensive game. And also, we should know that this is African qualifier. Let's play it the African way, African football. African football is never an easy game. I'm not saying they should go and do maybe get injured or whatever, but they should have it in their mindset that this is African football. Never say die. Don't give up until the last whistle.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so this is a good show. So like I said, to summarize it, we need to get serious about our NFF. I think the NFF, they don't want there to be a technical advisor or coach. They want to keep on playing musical chairs so they can keep chopping money. They don't want us. They don't want to bring somebody stable, because once they bring somebody stable, they'll lose their chop money. And the northern guys are running the country. Just like Kunle said, once the NFF is a politicized thing, which means it's run by people. Those guys from the north, even if they're not from the north, I don't care who they are. Even if it's back in the day, Aigbo, all those guys, Aigbe, whatever his name was, they don't care. They just want to make money. And the fan, what will the fans do? Are they going to go on? What are the fans in Nigeria? Are they going to shut down the country because of football? So they can get away with it. They say, okay, we'll mess up. Nobody's going to watch them. We're worried about food. We're not worried about football. What is your thoughts, Kunle?
Yeah, like I said before, all the world-class players are on. We can't get the world-class players anymore to play for our country. I mean, that's so sad. And the coach, I'm afraid, I think he's from Mali, isn't he, our coach?
Yeah.
It's
from Mali.
You should go and ask Biodun. I saw Biodun took a picture with him.
Yeah, I mean, for a team like this, that's not good enough. It's not, and that just tells you, that is indicative by itself that we have this mediocre Malian coach who maybe coaches, local teams in Africa, has no international experience to speak of, hasn't coached. This is the biggest team he's ever coached in any form of football. That's not good enough for Nigeria, but that's all we can get because they're not interested.
Kule, he's the accountant. The NFF guy says, when I put money for your bank account, put down for my account again. That's what that coach is. That coach is doing what that one doesn't care about Nigeria. He's their man. He's the man for the NFF. Put down for my account. I don't speak Hausa. Sorry, Kule. What are your thoughts, Afolabi?
Yeah, basically, I think I'm 100% with. Yeah.
Kule is breaking now.
I'm 100% with Kule on this. What pedigree does Mali have in football? But I stand to be corrected. Has Mali even ever qualified for the World Cup?
I don't think they have. They've come close, but they do well in Nations Cup.
What could have informed your decision for selecting a Malian coach?
Over a Nigerian
politics.
Yeah. When they're talking about top teams in Africa, Mali won't even enter the conversation. And then you look at it. The moment NFA became NFF, the problem started because the F was replaced by A. Basically, F means fraud. And that's the beginning of our problem.
Nigerian fraud.
Yeah. So basically, we need to restructure the NFF and build from grassroots. I like the model that Bonfrejo and Clemens Westerhoff brought in the 90s, because apart from taking us to the World Cup in 1994, they were able to help us to develop football from the grassroots, and they got a lot of talent to get good clubs in Holland, in Belgium, and in France. Now we don't have any football development from the grassroots anymore, and it's so sad, really.
And the funniest thing, the funniest thing is that when Bonfrejo they were there, the highest league that Nigerians can play in, they played then, was in Belgium, France, Holland, and which other country again. But now we are doing better, playing in Italy, England, top clubs. But we are still not doing well. But in those days, look at Finidi George, Tijani Babangida, Ucho Kechukwu, Ucho Kafo, Rashidi Yekini.
Finidi George was part of the great Ajax team that won the Champions League.
Yeah, the Champions League. 95, yeah. Even Finidi George played for African club side and he was doing well. So I think we need to go look into grassroots football very, very well.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so last thoughts. So we'll start with Kunle. What do you think, Kunle?
Yeah, they need to look into the scouting system is not good. They're not looking. The reason why, once you start abandoning all sports because you want to focus on football suffers because you have to focus on all sports. So that was
where the money would be
of Nigerian football, ignoring the other sports. You ignore the other sports, and then you have one sport. And you see, the thing about football is that you can find people that can run under 11 seconds in most schools in Nigeria. You can find people that are just as strong or fast as any player in football. So that's not hard to find. But then to find the skill and to combine it requires a good, proper coach and a system. Otherwise, you just got 11 athletes who are running around headless chickens. It's easier with quality well. But if you don't have the ability to know how to manage that team to do its best, then you'll have a team of 20 world-class players, and they're doing nonsense because you don't know how to manage them. It's sort of like Lawson, and he can't manage the Red Bull because the car is too complicated. Yeah. It's the same thing. He can't manage the players because they're too complicated for him to comprehend. So that's the start.
On the other hand, look at. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean, if you look at the way Moses and the other chap, Lookman, on the wings, it was not exciting. We're not playing exciting, dynamic football. It's a bunch of individuals been handpicked, and they come on perform.
Let me give you an example. La Masia in Spain trains these kids from a young age. Even at 17, Jamal knows more about football than any Nigerian player, even if they're 30. At the age of 17, he already knew it when he was 6 They teach those guys those things when they're 12 years old, 11 years old. They know the whole logistics of football. You understand? Because they have a systematized training and everything. You see what I'm saying?
That is working.
What do you think, Afolabi?
The system that is working.
Yeah, I agree with you. La Masia is a system that works. It's like a well-oiled machine that continues to churn out talent from the very best of youth systems. And it can happen in Nigeria too. If you look at most of the FA of the top footballing nations in Europe, they have ex-players as the main people administering their football. If you go to the British FA, you're going to see a lot of ex-players, people that have played soccer at the highest level. If you go to Spain too, the same thing. Why can't Nigeria copy that? Bring in the likes of Emmanuel Amunike, JJ Okocha, Kanu Nwankwo, and all these guys. They played under world-class coaches. And bring them in.
Like I said, we have a well of talent. We have 200 million people. We have them. We have them,
yes. So we should bring in some of these ex-players to run our football and give them the platform to do exactly what they need to do to help Nigeria to develop their football. Instead of bringing some Hausa guys who you don't even know. Maybe he's a PE teacher in a secondary school because he's a politician. You just give him the position. It's so annoying. Right.
Yeah.
Mustafa, you remember Mr. Shemidara? Imagine using Mr. Shemidara. in the
NFL. All right, we got to go. Sorry, Said, man. We're done, man. We've been on for 30 minutes, man. We got to go. Sorry, man. This is unbelievable, man. What do you have to say? Yeah.
No, on the Nigeria issue, I think we just have to, we know how the country is, and definitely with the kind of leaders we have, I don't think anything is going to change because Nigeria is still going to be Nigeria, but we're always still going to be at the last minute of deciding this, deciding that.
Fire brigade.
Yes, now. So when everybody is playing friendlies, we are there still fighting for who is the NFF this, NFF that. So
how to pay bonus.
Yeah. Yes, onto bonus and all. So I don't think anything is going to change anything. It's still same old our Nigerian ways of doing things.
Okay, thanks. So we have to get out. So Afolabi, take us out. Yeah.
Okay, it's been another brilliant football show. We've been discussing our own dear Super Eagles and football development in Nigeria. And it's been a very refreshing and wonderful session with Mustafa, Warif, Kule, and Said. We'll be back next time.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.